registered dietitian Nishta Saxena. Hey, Nishta, how's it going?
Great.
Good. Okay, I'm feeling very good today because since our audience is filled with grade 12 food and nutrition class, we thought we'd help them out with a little bit of myth busting on nutrition myths. How does that sound?
Sounds excellent.
Okay.
I love busting a myth.
I was going to say, Nishta's here. She's ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to start off with Caleb. Caleb, what's your question? Hey.
Hi, how are you, Mary?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I was just wondering if body size dictates your health.
Oh, good question, Caleb. Thanks so much. Nishta, what do you think?
No.
No. Okay, I love a firm no.
Firm no.
Yeah.
So what we want to understand, really first and foremost, 70% of how our body looks, this is where our rib cage is, where we store our fat, how much muscle we have. It's genetic.
Okay.
So we really want to understand that before we get into thinking, we can transform our body magically with food. You know, food and nutrition, being in a big body, if you're doing active health behaviors, that's really what's going to make you healthy.
Yeah.
Not your body size, not the number on the scale. Someone who's eating healthy, well-balanced, minimally processed food, exercise and getting sleep in a bigger body is going to be healthier than someone in a skinny body who's eating ultra-processed food and not sleeping.
Yeah.
And the thing we really want to understand and avoid is if you're trying to do those behaviors and you're restricting food and calories and doing things to try to make yourself look like someone else, this can be a big risk. You know, we can increase our risk of bone loss, osteoporosis, muscle loss, mood changes, and even eating disorders.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I think the other thing to think about is that we're all meant to be different sizes.
Yeah.
You know, and you could actually eat the exact same amount of food, do the same exercise as a different person, and you will not look like them.
Yeah.
We are all supposed to be different.
Yeah, I love that. Again, celebrate the differences. That's absolutely amazing.
Absolutely, and optimize the body you have.
Yes.
Be with who you are and choose those active health behaviors, eating well, sleeping well, and taking your health as a priority. That's what's going to give you true health.
I love that. Those active health behaviors,
Yes.
those are the key. Okay, fantastic. Caleb, great question. Thanks so much. All right. We have got another question. Who is our next question from?
Hey.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. What's your name?
Tiana.
Hey, Tiana.
I was just wondering, I keep seeing this chia seed trend, and I want to know what's happening with that. Is it true that you can eat too many chia seeds? And what happens if you don't soak your chia seeds before you eat them?
Good question. Thanks so much,
Thank you.
Tiana. Okay, cool.
Yes.
What are we talking
So chia seeds, we love them, from Central America, full of antioxidants, minerals, fiber. Yes, you can absolutely eat too many.
Okay, got
so
it.
we want to actually keep the total to about 2 to 3 tablespoons in a day.
Oh, that's
These
it.
are going to offer our body lots of insoluble fiber, soluble fiber. Now that brings up the difference between the dry chia seeds that we see here versus when you soak them a bit and you get that gel and that pudding. You know, you leave them for a few hours overnight. That is actually going to give you more soluble fiber. So when you eat them dry, it's like a scrub brush for the bowels. You still get all of that good stuff.
Okay.
When we eat them soaked as that pudding, we're getting soluble fiber, which can actually help more with blood sugar and cholesterol. Soaks up stuff like a sponge in the gut.
Okay, fantastic. No more than 2 to 3 tablespoons, though, because that sounds can get a little weird.
Yeah, it'll get weird.
Yeah.
You'll be dehydrated. It's a lot of fiber to eat excessive amounts, and there's no need for that. You're not going to get any extra benefit from that.
Okay, fantastic. That was great. All right, who is next? We got another question. Oh, hey.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
My name's Ashley, and I was just wondering, is organic food healthier than non-organic food?
Oh, that's a good question, Ashley. That was a good one. I'm going to get a round of applause. All right, Nishta, what do we think?
The age-old answer to this, an age-old question, and the answer truly when it comes to nutrients and health is no.
Okay.
So this has recently been studies. We actually have studies that show and compare organic and non-organic food for minerals, nutrients, etc. And there really is not much of a difference. There is some exceptions, but really they are the same.
Okay.
What I want people to understand is organic food is much more expensive, 20 to 30% more expensive. And the situation you don't want to get into is reducing the amount of fruit and vegetable produce. We need these foods. These plant foods are what build our body.
Yeah.
If you're not eating those because you can't find organic, you're actually doing yourself a disservice. That's actually more harmful than eating organic food. A lot of people also don't realize organic versus non-organic food. Organic food still uses pesticides.
Oh, okay.
They're different pesticides, and sometimes they're had to use them at higher levels to actually get the same impact.
Okay.
You know, both are controlled by safety studies, so we know that the safety standards are there.
Yeah.
And the last piece we want to talk about is, what do we see here? We see organic and non-organic cookies and chips.
Honestly, if you mixed them all up, you wouldn't know which was
You
which.
really
Yeah.
wouldn't. And I actually took a look at the nutrition facts panels and the ingredients, and they're virtually the same.
Okay.
This is showing us that organic, that word, can be used as a marketing tool, right? To make us think something's healthy. This is kind of creating a health halo around food that are cookies and chips.
Yeah.
You know, they have very similar amounts of salt and sugars. We don't want to assume that something's organic, that it's better for us. And I also really don't want people to only focus on that one idea. Organic food, that's going to make me healthy. There's so many things that impact your health. It's very complex. So make sure you're focusing on multiple factors, not just trying to make sure you're eating organic food.
I love that. It goes back to what we talked about before, having those healthy health behaviors
Yes.
that you do all the time or try to do as much as possible.
Absolutely. And those are the things that build over time and they act in a compound way. That's actually what gives you true health.
Oh, fantastic. Nishta, I'm excited because I love an animal cracker, so I'm going to eat these. Ashley, thank you so much for that question. Everybody, thanks so much for your questions. That was great.
Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.